the Casemiro. So Casemiro has really been struggling at Manchester United. I mean, that's just the truth, honestly. He's been struggling at Manchester United. There's been issues with Manchester United all year. They haven't been playing to their best of football, but Casemiro has been playing pretty bad. So Jamie Carragher, Liverpool legend, saying this should be his final games ever in professional football. He should be going to MLS or Saudi or something like that. Very took a harsh stance on Casemiro. And when he made the move from Real Madrid, there was almost a why for me. Like, what is this exactly, going from Real Madrid to Bayern? Like, then because I couldn't see really a potential fall off. Even last year, he was pretty good for stretches. Had some moments where you were like, why are you conceding that dumb yellow card and getting suspended? He had some moments like that, but generally throughout the season, he was very, very good, in my opinion. But I had these thoughts. Why make that move from Madrid to Barcelona? Maybe it was him foreshadowing his career. He's on the downside. For me, we never know. That's only within Casemiro. Maybe he just wanted to go to a new city. I'm not going to speculate, but maybe that could have been the reason. And yes, his performances this season, there have been times he's been atrocious. There's been times there where you actually really where you question his desire. The way in the penalty shootout against Coventry, the way he just chipped it at the beginning, it just made it seem like the body language, what he did, it just made it seem like he didn't care. Which that's a dangerous accusation to make, because he is a professional football player getting paid a lot of money, and maybe he was just trying to catch the goalkeeper off guard and stuff. But there was a kind of a sense, just looking at it, like he doesn't care. He losing the ball in bad areas, and then he's just getting overrun. He doesn't have the lungs to keep up with these athletes right now that are playing in the Premier League. He doesn't have the lung capabilities. He's always going to be a brilliant player on the ball. That's not going to go away, whether or not he gets older or this or that or that. He's always going to be brilliant on the ball. He's always going to have quality. He's always going to have a good passing range, all that. But it was his legs and his lungs, and he lost the ball a lot in bad areas. I mean, the way he lost the ball on the edge of the box against Crystal Palace, I mean, that's just a disgrace, in my opinion. For a Manchester United caliber player, they shouldn't be making those sort of mistakes. And this is a guy that's won multiple Champions Leagues, and he's had a very, very, an amazing career. And the way this season has gone, the downfall, it's just really, really bad to watch, really sad to watch for a player of his caliber. And the question is, should he be in the Brazil squad? He wasn't in the last Brazil squad whenever they played against England and Spain because of injury. But this is Dorvial Juniors, the new manager. That was their first squad. He has a big decision to make regarding Casemiro. Big decision to make, in my opinion, because they have sort of this new kind of influation of midfielders coming in. It was Paquetá, Bruno Guimaraes, Douglas Luiz, on and on and on. A lot of Premier League midfielders, that are an option for Dorvial Jr. So there's a big decision to make for him, for Brazil, and whether or not, and it really comes down to whether Dorvial Jr., Brazil manager, believes that Casemiro has a role to play in this team, even if he's not starting, because that's leadership and all that is huge in these kind of tournaments. It's going to be a kind of an inexperienced team Brazil takes in the Copa America. There's going to be a few young guys, so whether or not he values the fact that Casemiro has experience. So even if he's not starting, will Casemiro be okay with not starting? That also takes into it. Will Casemiro be okay with starting? They'll obviously have those conversations. And this team doesn't have experience, so does he have value with him being on the bench? That's also a big question mark. there's the guys that are with this Brazil squad. You know, they have their stars. They have their Vinicius. They have the Rodrigo. They have the Richarlison, Rafinha. You know, Gabriel Jesus. He's 50-50 in and out, in and out, in and out. Whether or not he's going to be in or not, I personally think he probably should get in. Lucas Paquetá, Bruno Guimaraes, Bremer, Gabriel, Arsenal, Gabriel, Marquinhos, Alisson. So they have quality, but this is Brazil. I mean, this is Brazil. They have quality, but there's gonna be a tense fight in the midfield. You got João Gomes playing at Wolves. I already spoke about Paquetá. I already spoke about Douglas Luiz. I already talked about Bruno Guimaraes. You have Andre. I'm not much familiar with him from Fluminense, 22-year-old. So they have midfielders that they're gonna try to influx in. And does Casemiro have a thing? I think because of his experience, the fact that he's valuable on the bench, I think it'll be important to take him. He can give you a game, maybe you can bring him in with because he doesn't have the lungs that he had when he was younger. But maybe if you put in someone that's with some some running capacity next to him. Personally, I don't think he'll work with Bruno Guimaraes. I don't think that'll work. But maybe playing him with a guy like Douglas Luiz, even though they're kind of similar, but they can be kind of like a double pivot. Douglas Luiz does have a little bit of those legs. I think that would work. João Gomes, I like him a lot. But yeah, I think they really should take him, in my opinion, just because he can provide you experience. You can bring him on if you're 60, 70 minutes in. Maybe you're defending a 1-goal lead. He's the perfect guy you can bring on. He can hold the ball. He can, make relief for his teammates. Hold the ball for 1 or 2 seconds. Find someone. Just take the pressure off. I think he should still be in this. He shouldn't be in the starting 11. As of right now, maybe he goes to Brazil, he gets to training and he just proves, he's just at a different level. It's just Man United is the issue and he's still at the top level. Maybe. You never know. Sometimes players, they just play better for their national team. At the end of the day, sometimes players, they just play better for their national team. So maybe he could just do that and he shows in training if he's capable, yeah. But as of right now, in the form he's in, I would still take him. I just wouldn't put him in the starting 11 and, I'd take advantage of the experience that he provides. And as far as Brazil Copa America, I spoke about their squad. They're very, very talented. They're very, very talented. But they got the World Cup champions that they have to play. They got a Colombia team in amazing form. They got a Uruguay team in good form. Quality players. So it'll be very interesting this summer to see Brazil. They're in a transition. They're in a semi-transition. Brazil, Neymar is not going to be in the squad because of injury, so they're going to have some inexperience. They don't have that, they don't have that star. I guess you could say Vinicius, yes, but the Brazil opens up their Copa America on June 24th. They play Costa Rica in SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. By the way, the Copa America being in America. Then they take on Paraguay in the Allegiant Stadium in Vegas, and then they take on Colombia. The major star of their group. Besides them, they take on Colombia at Levi Stadium, San Francisco, July 2nd. And by the way, just a wild card in it, whoever finished second place in that group, or this group is matched up with the U.S. men's national team group. So, the first place of the U.S. men's national team group will take on the second place of this group. The second place in that the U.S. men's national team group will take on the second. So there's a good chance that USA is probably going to play either Brazil or Colombia. So that's just a fun fact, wildcard fact, and it's a scary fact if you're a U.S. men's national team fan because they are both very, very good teams.